We're here. We're here. There's the new... Oh, I don't have the volume on. Here's the volume.
Certainly given me
Recap.
pause.
We're watching it live for the first time ever.
Raymond Cruz.
Raymond
2 years in the job. World changed. Ray didn't.
Split this straight down the middle, 50-50.
I have a bad feeling for Sweetie. I think Sweetie is going to die. And I wouldn't be surprised if Raylan and her hooked up or something.
A man who would be fucking king.
All right. Is Raylan and Carolyn. Oh, I hear breathing. He hooked up with Carolyn, didn't he?
Morning.
Morning.
So this never happened.
All right, they banged.
That said, how was it for you?
He's still in really good shape.
It was about what I expected it to be.
If you don't want to wait, you can just tell me who you are. I'll let her know you came by.
And you are?
I'm the go-getter. We can wait together. Or again, you could just
What's with the stripes on
tell
this
me who
suit?
you are.
That's
and
interesting.
I'll tell her.
Something you don't even know nothing about. You tell her that I was here, I'll catch up with her later. Style maven, clearly. Street pastor. Occasionally, I'm a nutritionist.
This neighborhood, it could be hazardous to your caucasity.
I like that this dude's acting like a baller. Isn't he the dude that rang her up $106,000 debt?
I'm saying we find the right name, we won't have to hit him at all.
Bernie Birnbaum.
Don't know.
I thought you knew everybody.
In the entire city of Detroit.
Well, okay. Are you afraid you can't hold your own against some Detroit wise guy now?
He's Albanian. I got no interest in being peeled like an orange. You seen those billboards around Burt Dickey real estate? They call him Bulldozer Burt because he rips down old buildings to put up condos. White collar, ex-con, house in Bloomfield Hills. Sounds like a walk in the park to me.
Bulldozer
Have you
Burt.
walked in the park lately? It's full of bums and perverts.
Just because you got in my panties doesn't mean you can get in my business.
But that never happened.
Ooh. Did that happen? Look at this. Raylan is... Did that
I have
happen?
plenty of protection at the courthouse.
Yes, ma'am.
She's one of my favorites. She's just affiliated with criminals. And she's loving that he's tailing her. She's loving it. Justified City Primeval. Commercial break.
This is the most dangerous race.
This comes out tomorrow, right? Oh no, I guess next week.
Turismo in theaters.
We're gonna mute it. This is how we do. If you guys have not been part of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, this is how we did it every week. We would jump in with no intro. I would literally just jump in at, I think it was 10 o'clock too. I think they both come on at 10 o'clock. But we would jump in. We'd get the recap. They always give recaps for shows on FXX, I feel like. But either way, Justified does a recap every time. So no sense in repeating myself. I could just show the recap, jump on. We could talk during the commercial breaks. And then we'll talk at the end after it's all said and done. The reason I haven't done this yet for Justified is because the only day of the week I can't do a show at night live is Tuesday. Always Sunny came on Wednesdays. So that's why I was able to do it. The only night I work is Tuesday. I do the arcade from 6 to midnight, only night. The rest of the week, I'm free every night after 5 o'clock, nothing doing. This happened to be on Tuesday. It comes out Wednesday on Hulu, but if you don't watch it live, you got to wait for the Hulu drop. I think at 3 a.m. it comes out or something like that. So I'm not going to wait up to 3 a.m. to do an hour-long show and then edit it up. It's no point, because by the time I'm done, it's like 5 or 6 in the morning. I've been doing it the next day. This is the first time we're actually able to do it live. So I still got to lock up the arcade, but I'm able to watch it. I'm going to start the edit, and then I'm going to run to the arcade, lock up, and finish when I get home. So this should be out shortly after like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, which is way earlier. It beats my normal time by like a day. I don't know if that's affecting the views, because I was thinking Justified would have a huge fan base, and we're not really getting the views I thought we'd get. But it's one of my favorite shows of all time, so I'm still going to react to it regardless. I also heard 1923 is phenomenal. I might end up watching this. I haven't seen anything Yellowstone, and I know that's a prequel. Harrison Ford, I heard it's amazing. Season 1, Helen Mirren, I didn't know she was in it. But as far as the show, let's talk about the show because we're probably about to jump back in. I figured Carolyn and Raylan would hook up. I wasn't sure how they were going to have it go down. They legit banged. She went for a jog in the morning. He's making out with her outside of her car, following her to work. I can't remember with 100% certainty, but I'm pretty sure the dude that showed up when Raylan was going to get coffee is Marcus. Regardless if that is his name, he is the dude that we have not seen since episode 1, I believe, that later on we found out has put Carolyn into extreme debt, $106,000. And the dude comes rolling up in a $100,000+ car, wearing a suit that probably costs more than my car. The final season of Archer, that's another show I've never seen. I know of it. I know the voices.
Discretion advised.
Never seen it. We're back in. Let's see what happens with the gang.
I just got off the phone with the governor, who wanted to know why in the 5 days since Judge Guy and the young lady got murdered.
I got a Borsalino hat, Marshall. You like hats?
As far as who's in charge of this jumble fuck now that Detective Brill is on, effective immediately. Detective Downey.
Thank you, Chief Briggs. Well, do you happen to know where that piece of metal is that could take the devil down?
I might.
Well, I guess it's time to play Powerball scratchers, huh?
I literally just went and bought Mega Millions tickets. $1.6 billion
One thing no one's
tonight.
talking about, I can't get out of my head. Wasn't there a suspect you guys brought in, a drifter? He was out at the golf course that night.
Brill interviewed him. Afghanistan.
Here we go. Bulldozer Bert. Is that David Cross? Are you shitting me? It's David Cross.
Bert, how you doing?
He's one of my favorite comedians ever.
I guess that means you saw the photo I texted.
Go ahead.
What time can I swing by? How about 4 sharp?
No. I've got a 3:30.
Great, thanks. Bye.
I saw
Damn.
David Cross like a year or two ago, and he was rocking that beard.
You are a politician, Diane. And politicians should not be sitting on the bench.
Go make friends with the governor. Don't bet me for it.
Ma'am, we thought your husband...
Ex-husband. Who is this guy?
I tried to tell him.
I'll tell him.
First.
If you find Raymond, tell him
She's
I
like,
got fed up with his
I'm
old
being
cutlass
nice.
in the garage. Had it towed.
What came? Flowers?
My
Flowers?
missus and Daddy.
Tell me it's from Clement. Chicken fat. It's from Clement. Commercial break. I can feel it.
FX celebrates 37
37 Emmys. All right. So, Clement sends him flowers. Right away, I'm like, no way Carolyn would do that. Because obviously Carolyn is saying, secrets. We're keeping secrets. So, who else would send Raylan flowers? Chicken fat. Oh, thinking of you, Chicken Fat, because Raylan is technically Chicken Fat. That was the whole inside joke with Willa when he sat down for, I guess you could call it dinner. And he was like, your dad was nicknamed Chicken Fat. I think that's how it went down. But either way, we know what the deal is. So we have Sweetie calling David Cross. David Cross is Bert. Bulldozer Bert. I apologize. What is happening here? I need to know. That is amazing.
At drivetime.com,
I'm so happy
we've
we
been hard at
unmuted
work.
it for that.
And we finally...
Nothing against you, sir, but I just needed to know what that pumpkin man with the tractor was doing. So, where were we at? Sweetie calls David Cross Bulldozer Bert. He basically called all the shots. Sweetie was like, we're meeting at 4 o'clock at your house. David Cross is like, I got a thing at 3:30. I don't want to meet at the house yet. I don't give a crap. We got you. You're under our thumb. We're going to blackmail you for money. That is how we work this. I don't know how far they're going to go or what they got to do. They're basically targeting people they think they could put the hammer down on and they won't really get too much retaliation back. Hence why they picked David Cross. You could see he's willing to cooperate. At least now it seems that way. But Sweetie was like, no Albanians, no this guy, no that guy. This guy's dead. He's going through the book. He's like, I don't know everybody, but I know enough. And he literally said, don't mess with Albanians. They will skin you alive. Peel you like an orange is the way he put it. We're already messing with the Albanians. They're already looking for us. And Raylan is outside Carolyn's house because of that in the beginning of the episode. But Clement is obviously a psychopath. Sally is clearly shook and has no choice but to go along with it for now. The only thing she could do is run and hope she gets away, or I wouldn't be surprised if Sally gets in the crossfire or something, or Clement himself even does her in. I feel like she's becoming more of a liability than anything. And yes, she's a very pretty girl, but she's kind of an idiot just for the sheer fact that she aligned herself with the people she did. I said this earlier on. All Sally does is party, do drugs, and clearly is with Clement because she likes the risque life. She likes to date the bad boys. And now she realized it ain't all it's cracked up to be. In the long run, you don't want that. We have this huge meeting, all the cops. Downey, Maureen Downey, heads it off. The one guy freaked out, yelled at everybody. He's like, Downey's got it. And Downey is like, we got to fix this. It's been 5 days. The judge was shot and killed. His assistant was shot and killed. And we got no one. Here we go.
Friend.
Oh, no, that's not it.
Wow.
What is this?
Don't do anything weird.
I thought that was it. I think that's it. I think we're jumping in. So we're going to just do this. Final season of Breeders. I've never heard of it.
Viewer discretion.
Viewer discretion is advised. They're going to murder everybody.
Is that what I'm dealing with here? A couple of potheads?
We're looking to make a fair deal.
Okay, brass tacks, where are we at?
30.
30,000. Do you think that I have that kind of cash just lying around?
Yes. I know guys like
we
this.
can live with 17
They
right
always got cash.
Look, come on, we don't want to grind the man.
You'll have $10,000 more dollars than you did when you walked in that door.
What is that there?
Stanley Garlic. One of his. Are we done
I
here?
bet you it's worth a shit.
Price is 50. 10 is fine.
Sweetie right away knew I got to get what I could get now because Clement's about to flip the shit out.
They're beautiful. The day I've had, I don't even care about you doing this in public.
We're being followed. And there's...
My Lord have mercy.
Hey. At least he's following us.
You know what you signed up for. No friends. No relationships.
That's Gal
What
Gadot.
we do is too important. When
Mission
governments
Impossible.
fail,
I was going to say,
the
this
only
looks like a
thing
Mission
left is to
Impossible movie. The first thing I thought when I saw her on the bike.
Oh, because you've got no imagination.
Showtime!
Dead Reckoning was amazing. Mission Impossible, I saw it twice in the same day. Almost a 3-hour movie. I saw it twice in one day. It was
I
accurate.
think you know everything, but the world is about to see the truth.
Gal Gadot. Rachel Stone? I'm not aware of that name.
That's when they send me.
Heart of Stone. Rated PG-13.
Never even heard of. Oh, it's on Netflix. That's why. I was gonna say I never even heard of it. I thought it was gonna be a theater movie. Like I said, I saw Dead Reckoning. What is it? 2 weeks ago it came out. Phenomenal. It's a 2-parter, so it ends on a cliffhanger. Kind of. It actually seals it up pretty well, where it could be its own self-contained story, but it definitely leaves a lot to be questioned. Either way, Carolyn meets up with Raylan. They're going to get dinner. David Cross. One, I can't believe they were able to get 10 grand out of him that easily. Equalizer 3. There you go. 2 weeks. That's a good one. I'll be in Dragon Con that week. I leave the 29th of this month. But David Cross. They meet at his house. Sweetie tells a hell of a story about Miles Davis. Ricky Lawson. That's got to be a real dude, right? Let's look it up so we don't have to think about it. We could all talk. Songwriter Ricky Lawson. Grammy nominated American. Oh wait, that's a young dude. Born. Was there 2 Ricky Lawsons? American drummer Ricky Lawson. So maybe it's his son. There were 2 Ricky Lawsons. One was 30. And one is my dad, born the same year as my dad, in Detroit, Michigan. So I knew the name Ricky Lawson. Drummer. I know Miles Davis. Miles Davis is super famous. One of the best. Probably the best, according to most, in his territory, his area. Like, meaning like his profession. I'm sure his area, too, of Detroit. But Sweetie tells the story, like, yeah, I got to jam out with Miles Davis and Ricky Lawson. And at the end, Miles Davis walks out and goes, "You got some big ears." And it was just like a story. It didn't mean anything. I'm not Sure, if it did, beyond him just being like, I got to jam out with Miles Davis and Ricky Lawson, and he's kind of reflecting on one of the greatest days of his life while he sits in a car with Manziel, who is a psychopath on another level. The second I said that Sweetie is joining forces with him, I'm like, this is a bad move. Because even though Clement has this book and you could probably get hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more, he is a crazy person. He was ready to beat David Cross to death in that room. And Sweetie knew it. And Sweetie was like, 10 grand? Sounds like a good deal. I can't believe they got 10 grand. He went from 3 to 5 to 10 like that. They probably could have got more. But Clement was getting to a point where Sweetie was like, I better take what I could get. Because he is about to beat this man to death or wreck that painting or smash it over his head, and bad things are going to happen. So I think we're coming back.
Viewer discretion advised.
Clement is a scary dude.
It's a street pastor.
This is not the time. This is not the place.
That's your new flavor.
My mistake, nutritionist.
Make yourself scarce.
Why are you showboating like this?
I don't care what you're handing me. I'm a goddamn marshal.
I'm hard, sowing our wild oats, and then we ran back up into each other's arms.
Again. Past tense.
Our conversation was just getting juicy.
Yeah,
You know what,
and
you
you don't
should
put your
go.
hands on a lady that doesn't want you to put your hands on her.
You should go.
What
Who does
you
he
do
think
now
he's
is
fucking
wise.
with? Raylan will fuck this
Not
dude
whip
up.
your ass in the middle of Chinese restaurant. Oh, look.
I have one too.
Yeah.
You just had to do that.
No, Carolyn.
That's it.
I don't even know why Carolyn's
leaving.
mad.
You didn't finish our thought.
No. You guys can talk. I'm leaving.
Carolyn.
You're leaving me hanging.
Have I ever?
You know the best Chinese restaurants in Detroit is actually in Canada.
Oh my God, baby, how much you get?
You ever really looked at money? Baby, that judge's book is like an ATM.
Sweetie definitely took half. We're 50-50. He said so.
Babe, I want to believe you, but
What's that mean? I'm full of shit. You think I got a good singing voice?
baby, isn't what matters that you like your singing voice?
I'm like half afraid he's gonna punch her or smack her or something. Like she made a comment.
I believe you, okay, babe?
That's right. Take care of the situation.
This dude is like, I wouldn't mess around with this dude at all. I don't know why all these people are messing around with this dude. Hello. Here's another movie. There's so many movie trailers. We had Heart of Stone. Well, Heart of Stone is Netflix. Strays. What was the other one? The Gran Turismo movie comes out in a week. Oh, that is this week. Oh no, that's next week. I'm like so discombobulated with the month of August because so many things are going on. I leave for Wildwood tomorrow, the shore. I'm gone for like 4 days. I get back. I'm home for 2 weeks, and then I go to Atlanta for 9 days into September for Dragon Con. And I have so much things I got to do that I've just been like, any free time I have, I've just been doing YouTube or handling the arcade or doing jobs for construction, trying to get all my ducks in a row. I'm pretty good at this point, but it's just a lot of chaos to travel for a little bit. But Clement is insane. Sally walks in and goes, oh, it worked? She sees a couple $100. I mean, she had to have seen large sums of money before with Clement as her boyfriend. The dude's always involved in a bunch of bullshit. So she walks in, sees a couple $100 bills on the table and goes, oh, we hit it rich. Let's go to Aruba. The only thing I can think is that she was assuming that wasn't all of it. But the first thing you think is, oh, it worked. Let's go to Aruba. Like, what? You're just going to run away and go to Aruba? Like, Sally isn't that bright. And then she makes a comment to the scariest man in the show, like, you're high. And he goes, what does that mean? I don't make sense when I'm high. You can't trust me? What was his exact words? I'm full of shit? I think he said that. I think he says, so what does that mean? I'm full of shit? And then he gets right up in her face. And he's smoking. And he's got his knee up. I literally was like, Sally better be really careful with how she words the rest of her statements from here on. Because I thought he was going to haul off and smack her or punch her or kick her. And then he's just like, all right, everything's cool. And she's like, babe, you know I love you. You know I don't think you're crazy. You're fucking crazy. You're a lunatic. I think you're amazing, though, as an actor being a lunatic. He's phenomenal. He's probably one of the better villains in Justified. Justified's had all-star villains. Going back to season 1, every season or two would have like a family that Raylan was going after, and there'd be like a head of that family that would run shit amazingly. And obviously you got Boyd Crowder, which was one of, if not the best villains ever, if you even want to call him a villain. I mean, he ended up in prison at the end of all the seasons, so I would definitely call him a villain, but he was amazing, and I love him. And he was the greatest. But this dude is like on par. And we're back.
Whining and dining mayonnaise sandwich at our restaurant.
It's weird with this dude. How do you guys feel about Jamal? I'm like on the fence with him. He annoys me and frustrates me, but I also kind of dig him.
Living like this. I could have had any girl in there, but I put my arm around you. Because I've always wanted to give you the glamour that you deserve.
Listen to this smooth talking. Oh, it froze on us. What happened? What happened? What? Don't be freezing on me. Is it the internet? What happened? What happened? I have internet. Justified, what are you doing to me? It's live, so I can't even like pause it or anything. I don't know what happened. We're in.
That's my cousin.
He's got bras
This is
everywhere.
not Tasha's size.
Which means you are no longer eligible to receive alimony from your ex-wife. So if you want some more loafers, I suggest you have Tiggo Biddies to take you shopping.
Tiggo Biddies.
And I'm done. And I'm broke. I'm broke.
She just went broke paying off this dude's debt. And you know how you know he's full of shit and he hasn't changed? He just busted in on dinner. I can't believe we have a commercial break. There's 4 minutes left. Who has a commercial break with 4 minutes left? Like right now, there's 4 minutes left. I apologize for it not working. You guys saw, I had to refresh the screen. We missed like about a minute or two, but it was basically Jamal talking a bunch of bullshit. All I know is he was smooth talking. I go, look at this smooth player. Then it freezes, and the next thing I know, she's looking at perfume in the sink, or in the drawer, and there's bras hanging in the shower. Then he goes, oh, that's so-and-so. Tisha, did he say? Tasha, Tisha, whatever the hell he said. Oh, that's, you know, her. Yeah, her big old, what is it? Her Tiggle Biddies weren't that big, is what Carolyn said. I can't believe the balls on Jamal. He has her pay a $106,000 debt. She now says, you're good, but I'm broke, and I would pay it again just to get rid of you, just to make it where you're no longer part of my life and we're broken ties. Now she's like, oh, now that I know you're shacking up with somebody else, I don't got to pay you alimony anymore either. And she's a lawyer, so she knows the law. She's very aware of the situation. No longer has to pay alimony. She just possibly saved herself, even though she had to pay the $106,000 over the course of time. Now she doesn't have to worry. She could cut ties. She's good. But part of me is intrigued by Jamal, which is why players like him get away with what they do and succeed, because he's so smooth that you're like, what is he up to? I mean, like, obviously I'm intrigued in the sense of watching him as a character because he's entertaining. But the second you know he's that kind of guy, you don't do business with that guy. You don't marry that guy. You don't reestablish a relationship with him. And obviously Carolyn knows it. Carolyn was like, emotional. I'm ready to rip your goddamn head off. She wraps the bra around its neck and like backwards strangled him, so to speak. But obviously he's way bigger. He's a big dude. And who the hell does this dude think he is? Raylan is a U.S. Marshal. Granted, he didn't know that. But they're having a dinner at a fancy place. He walks up, sits down, and goes, make yourself scarce. You got some balls on you, dude. I don't know anybody that would have reacted differently than Raylan, but Raylan is a U.S. Marshal, so then he goes to the next extreme. Oh, you're a pig now? Obviously, he just says whatever he needs to say to accomplish a goal, but Raylan got right in his face, and he still was acting like a tough guy. But I mean, hey, that's the person he is, and I think we're going to finish There's a minute left. I don't know. I mean, we literally have 1 minute left.
Viewer discretion.
It's 10:59.
advised.
What are we gonna get? Manziel's gonna be like, "What's up, sweetie?" Credits. Oh, David Cross. Manziel's gonna jack him up still.
Jesus Christ.
Evening, Bert.
Oh, he took the painting. I'm assuming he didn't kill him or anything, but he might have. He's standing right there. But see, David Cross is the perfect target. We gotta go after somebody that won't retaliate and is a pushover.
You been crying, baby girl?
I don't want to take it. I just want to see it.
The politician lady in the beginning was like, you should have made friends with the governor, I think she said. But she don't need money. She just needs to say, I saw your name in this little black book. Step off. I bet you that lady's in there.
Somebody could help you.
Guarantee you the politician lady's in there.
If there's a wall in Jericho, it's about to tumble down.
Gotta be the lady, because the lady was a bitch to her. You're mad at everybody else for getting ahead, for being dirty, and now you're gonna be just as dirty.
only speaks to me on pain of death, so.
He tangled with Clement Manziel.
Remind me. Guy I tangled with. Freddie Cagg was his name. You know, Freddie shot through my front window one night. Not to kill him. But more like, come on, man, let's do it. Said it. If I had any sense of humor, I'd see how comical the whole thing was. Yeah, he walks behind my bar, reaches down, and then shot him.
He had a gun on you.
I don't know.
He had a bottle opener in his hand.
Hole in his chest, eyes wide open, clean my fingernails with the bottle opener, and that was that. And I sleep just like a baby.
Raylan's like, damn. All right, guys, that is it for episode 5, Justified. I guess it goes a little longer. It's almost 11:10, so it did start a minute or two late. I remember Always Sunny would do that too, but we went almost 10 minutes into the next hour. Either way, we're already way over an hour, and I haven't even done the exit yet. So let's just briefly talk, because I got to edit all this up and run to the arcade. We get Raymond Cruz at the end. We met his ex-wife. She didn't seem too fond of him. He doesn't seem like the greatest dude. He doesn't seem like he has a conscience. And he tells us the story at the end, and Raylan's just looking like, what? Raymond Cruz is an interesting fellow. We saw him in the cop car when he busted Manziel. They cuffed him and everything. And he said, I remember he went down for that. There's more possibly to do with Raymond Cruz. I can't imagine they would have shown him earlier on in the car arresting Manziel and then have him come into the bar, just have this talk with Raylan, and that will be it for him. I don't know. I feel like there's more to do with Raymond Cruz. But Manziel ends up going back to David Cross's house, Bulldozer Burt, and gets the painting. I was afraid for David Cross. I'm like, he might just be so angry that he didn't get his way. He might just beat the shit out of him for shits and giggles, because he was smoking weed and getting drunk and everything. And Sally said, you are unpredictable to begin with, but when you're smoking weed and doing everything else, it's even worse. Sweetie now at the end shows Carolyn the book, because Carolyn is just fed up. Carolyn has this lady in the beginning saying, like, I'm probably going to become the next judge because I know the right people, aka I'm probably doing shenanigans that put me in that book. Because the first thing Carolyn did was go show me that book, and she found a name and said the walls of Jericho come tumbling down with this information. It has to be she found out enough to go after the people that are stopping her from getting that judgeship, the position on the bench. Now she knows what to do to get it. But Sweetie's like, don't do anything without telling me first. I'm thinking she might, but she doesn't want money. She just wants power, because power will get you everything. And I kind of feel bad because Carolyn, I mean, I don't really feel bad because here's what I was going to say. Carolyn seems like a good person and she's a sweetheart, but she works for criminals. And if you work for criminals and you dated a guy like Jamal, who we end up finding out has tiggled bitty bras hanging in his shower and is trying to mack it to her like he's in love with her, and storming in on her dinners, starting fights with Raylan, and acting like he is this great guy. He's like, I've changed. You don't believe me? I changed. You have bras hanging in your shower. You just cost me $106,000 and I'm paying you alimony. You're a piece of shit. But that's what he is. He's a player. He's like a womanizing manipulator. And he's still intriguing. I still kind of enjoy him. Like, he's interesting to watch. It's kind of like a Boyd Crowder kind of thing, or a Manziel. They're friggin' lunatics, but they're entertaining. And Justified is good at getting those kind of characters. But I don't know how much more they're gonna get out of David Cross, Bert the Builder. He might not ever be done until they kill Manziel. I'm sure Manziel, whenever he needs money, is gonna keep going back and being like, I need more. Give me another painting or give me another 10 grand. And Sweetie, I can't help but think, is going to end up getting shot or killed because of Manziel. He is just putting himself on the front lines, and every time Manziel freaks out, he's almost like, all right, I got to tighten up, and hopefully this goes accordingly. Besides that, we end on Raylan getting drinks with Raymond Cruz. Next week is episode 6. And then we have 2 more episodes left. We're way more than halfway through the season at this point. Well, not way more. This was beyond halfway. Either way, amazing show. I'm liking it for what it is. I just wish it was longer. I feel like we're rushing some things because it's only an 8-episode season. But either way, I'm just happy we got Justified. You guys let me know what you think. You want to see more of what I do. In the description of every video is a link for Patreon. You'll see these in full, unedited, as far as humanly possible. Peaky Blinders, Doctor Who, Person of Interest, The Wire, every season was one of the first shows I did. I wore this just because I felt like it kind of went along with the themes of Justified. Hundreds of other movies and shows. Check in the description for the link for Patreon. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.